Hi there, I'm Henry, also known as Music Simplified, and today I am reviewing the sound of the Sviga P2 or the Sviga P2, however you pronounce it. Now, I usually only focus on sound, but I have to say, like, the unboxing of these was such a great experience that I'll take you to my kitchen table for a while and just show you real quick the experience of what it was like to first receive them. So, let's go. All right, so welcome to the unboxing. First of all, even the box, I wouldn't say it feels more quality. It's still a cardboard box, but usually they have this slippery kind of feel, and this one almost feels like it's made from recycled paper. I have no idea if it is or isn't, but it looks good. It looks like a different and a more modern approach, which already is very enjoyable. And now let's see if we can open it. So then next you will see this hard leather or fake leather or whatever it is case. And the story of the box just continues where it looks good, it feels really solid, so you definitely feel that somebody has thought of the looks and also the practical side of having this. The zipper is like fantastic quality, so it means that this box is meant to last. And it's not a review for the zipper, but it is an important detail as it just shows that there's a surprising amount of dedication and just planning gone into presenting you this headphone and also keeping it safe in the future. So here come the headphones. Let's actually, let's build up to the headphones. You will find this little box inside. So this is where the wire is. Looks beautiful. It looks and it feels good, which is, sometimes you can get one or the other, but this one, this coil will not twist around itself, or it will not do any of the funky things that you might expect from wires, or that that can happen. And then, using this one is just an overall very smooth experience, and it looks really good. And then there's a little, what we call, I think it's made from linen or cotton. Again, I'm not the expert of materials, but in Estonia we have these huge potato bags, and there's a joke that people used to get married in big potato bags. So it's a very simple bag, but it just shows a little bit of a different approach. And in here you have the adapter that goes into the 3.5 millimeter. And again, like all the connectors and stuff, it just looks great. Better than many $1,000 headphones. So let's get the bubble wrap off from here. And then here's the headphone itself. The wooden parts are great to touch and just feel great. They feel heavy in just the right way, where it's not too heavy, but it just feels solid, and you can see in every part of the build that these ones will last forever. So again, way above my expectations. There's no parts here that feel cheap in any way. There's a beautiful glare of these covers here, the driver covers. And again, just adding to the whole set that we have here. And then the ear pads, they're thicker from behind your head. So they've built the way that your head is shaped. And again, every detail, everything that you look at here just tells that somebody has put in a lot of thinking into how to make them feel good, make them look good, and also make them last for a long time. That's it. Let's move on to the sound. Hi again. So now you've seen me unbox these, and let's go straight to business. How do they sound? Now these are open back planar magnetic headphones, and you know, I'm a big fan of Planar, but usually my headphones are way more expensive. So these ones are about $400. So I was super excited to hear what like a less expensive Planar would sound like. And now, does it compete with the more expensive Planars? Nope. But is it a great headphone? Hell yeah. So it's a really dark, well, let's not start with the dark. Let's start with it's a really powerful sounding planar magnetic headphone. So any kind of like, just, I was not ready, you know, the last open backs that I had were very gentle on the low end, and maybe I sort of accepted that this is what any open backs are about. But these ones hit you with a lot of low end energy. And I don't mean like Beats by Dre kind of low end, like super bass boosted energy. But coming from like an audiophile or a very musical perspective, then these have a lot of this. And they definitely are very punchy. And I think the best way to describe it is that they have a lot of vibe to them. You know, they make you want to listen to more tracks, they make you want to dance, they make you want to like nod your head along and really get you into the music. And there's this sub energy, which there is like, let's say it's still a very musical amount, but it's a lot. Then there's the mids, which again, they're very well connected to the sub frequencies. So it's also a very warm experience. So any kind of instruments or sounds that are like anywhere from the lowest part of the frequency spectrum to the upper mids, you will be automatically focused on the details and textures within those sounds, and definitely like the focus of music will be directed towards the lower end of the spectrum. Now, both the speed of the bass and the mids it's very natural. You know, the bass doesn't hit particularly fast, and it's by no means slow either. And I think here natural is like, it's a good thing. Because, yeah, it's, you know, if you don't notice the speed of the driver, then it just means that everything is gonna sound like good to you. And it's gonna sound the way that your, I don't know, any kind of human hearing has been used to hearing these things. Then we get to the high frequencies, which, now this is the dark that I was saying. There's a little dip somewhere there, which does something funny to the vocals. I'll get to that later. But first, let's go for the hi-hats and any of the instruments, which sound amazing. There's a lot of detail. Also, any reverbs and spaces and echoes, they're very well presented. Everything that moves left to right is very well presented. It's very precise. But the only thing that's lacking for these headphones is the vocal presentation. I think there's a dip somewhere in the high frequencies that definitely adds to this dark signature, that also makes sure that these headphones never offend your ears. And at the same time, you know, having this slight recession somewhere in the high frequencies will allow, you know, for them to sound so powerful when it comes to the lower frequencies and just the lower half of the spectrum for any kind of music. So don't consider it a negative, I definitely will not, but when it comes to vocals, then they never feel quite as intimate as they could. They always feel a tiny step away from you. You might call it unnatural, they're a bit different than from other headphones that I have heard. And even if like the mic has been super close and it's a very sensitive recording, which should be like almost feel like this ASMR thing to you, then it doesn't do that. It will always be like one step away from you mentally. And I actually tried some ASMR stuff on it, and again, I have to say it doesn't quite cheat your brain. And it's funny that it's only about vocals. None of the instruments, I never had that problem. Just no other sounds. only when it comes to vocals, and especially female vocals. So, if vocals are like the pinnacle of your music and the center of everything you listen to, do not buy these. But if vocals are a great addition to all the music that you love, and you'll enjoy listening to the instruments, to the bass, especially if you like any sort of electronic music, which does obviously like emphasize bass quite a bit, then for the many of those reasons, these are absolutely great headphones. Their soundstage has been one thing that I haven't talked about. It's very tight. They don't sound like open back headphones at all, and you will not get like this super immersive experience with them. But the benefit of that is that their imaging is very precise. Everything moving from left to right will get your attention. You will notice a lot of detail there. And just, instruments are very particular, very well positioned. So yeah, you have to choose. Would you like that or not? So would I recommend these headphones? I definitely would. And let me real quick just summarize what they are extremely good at. Now, the unboxing and the build is super solid and worthy of headphones way above its price range. When it comes to the sound, then of course the planar magnetic driver adds a lot of detail and a lot of potential. And this one is especially pronounced in the low range and the low mids. So any kind of bass instruments or bass sounds will definitely, they will feel just great. The high frequencies will never hurt your ears or never offend you, so they're very well controlled, and it's definitely a headphone that you can, just put on your head, relax, and you can go. You will forget about them, and they're sort of like sit, forget, and just enjoy being in the music. The negatives of this one is that they don't have a particularly wide soundstage. You will not get like this immersive experience where like massive things happening everywhere all around you. Rather, it's very tight and controlled, and then vocals seem like a step away. Vocals still sound great. There's no problem in my mind with the sound of vocals, but the fact that they're a little bit distant from me means that if I get to vocal music and I have a lot of headphones to choose from, then for vocal music I would prefer something else. All right, that's it for me. From me, you have a great day. Bye.